How animals have reclaimed the planet during the COVID-19 pandemic. From mass pollution that poisons animal habitats to stripping the rainforests of their resources, the human race has not been kind to the animals of our planet. It has been said that if humans were to vanish completely, the population of creatures would thrive once again, even those facing extinction. Well, during the COVID-19 outbreak, we have inadvertently had the opportunity to see how true that theory is. In today's video, we will share with you the effects that the pandemic has had on the wildlife of our planet, while humans have been forced to stay indoors, isolating from the deadly virus. Before we get started, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. That way, you will never miss one of our unbelievable animal videos. Swans and fish in Venice. As with most countries, strict self-confinement rules have meant that we can only make short trips to walk the dog, get exercise, or buy food. This is most certainly the case in Italy, where the death toll is one of the highest in the entire world. With massive restrictions put on the speeding motorboat taxis and tourist boats of Venice, the water pollution caused by them has cleared. This has left the ancient city with crystal waters, where wildlife has not only returned, but is beginning to thrive. For the first time in many years, shoals of tiny fish can be seen enjoying their new habitat, while scuttle crabs and multicolored plant life grace the sandy beds below. Ducks have made the calm and quiet waters their home and have even begun laying eggs. Cormorants have also returned to dive for fish now that the clarity has improved. Fishermen have stopped going out into the lagoon as the restaurants they supply have closed. Though this may seem dire to their profession, many are not worried, as when restrictions are lifted, the fish population would have grown substantially, meaning there will be more fish to catch and sell afterwards. Of course, this brings forward a compelling argument about the future of boat travel and the tourist industry in Venice once the pandemic is over. Dolphins swimming up to a port in Sardinia. In the Italian port of Cagliari in Sardinia, a strange occurrence has been happening. Though snorkeling trips to watch dolphins out in the Mediterranean Sea are quite common, a school of dolphins have decided to visit the usually busy port. Many researchers believe that this is because the surrounding waters have become clean of pollution, something that would usually be extremely harmful to the dolphins. Also, boat traffic going in and out of the port has been reduced, meaning that the dolphins have not been scared away by the waves, engine noises, or the large vessels passing by. The unexpected visit was caught on camera, with several onlookers keeling to get a better look of them. The video was taken by a member of the Luna Rossa sailing team during training for the 2021 America's Cup. As with the clear canals of Venice, the clean oxygen found in the waters has made it more inviting for wildlife. But that's understandable, as no one likes to swim in dirty water, right? The trade of wildlife in the spotlight. The coronavirus was thought to have started at a busy wet market in China, which famously sold an array of unusual wildlife delicacies that had been infected with COVID-19. Since then, the New York-based Wildlife Conservation Society is urging the government to ban live animal markets and stop illegal trafficking and poaching of wild animals. The negative spotlight has already put pressures on the industry in Wuhan, with China already introducing a ban on all farming and the consumption of live wildlife, which is expected to become a law later in 2020. This would prevent a future pandemic, as well as allow the population of wild animals like bats and monkeys to grow naturally without being forced to breed or to be brutally hunted. Herd of deer in India. After 21 days in lockdown, a herd of Sambar deer decided it was time to take a late-night stroll through the streets of northern India near the Rajaji National Park. The reason for the unlikely visit is because pollution levels are at their lowest as the roads stay empty. An Indian forest officer managed to take a video of 3 deers and shared it on Twitter. Many of the responses supported the creatures, with one even showing regret that their children knew what a European reindeer was, but knew nothing about a deer from their own local wildlife. Deer have also been spotted walking the usually hectic streets of at least one Polish town, as well as in Japan. Baby turtles in Brazil. Hundreds of baby turtles have been spotted making their way toward the water along Brazil's northern coast. Usually, the species would be filled with anxiety, and rightly so, as humans have been known to interfere with them when spotting the cute shelled creatures. Dogs that are usually taken for walks across the beach have not been around to attack or play with the turtles, meaning they are surviving in greater numbers. Wild boar in Spain. Wild boar has been seen roaming the empty streets of Barcelona, scavenging for food, or just snooping around out of curiosity. Though they can be a common sight in the quieter wooden areas, 3 boars were seen crossing a city street near the Sant Pau Hospital, which is close to the Sagrada Familia, Barcelona's most popular attraction. 3 more were seen near the Merche Market, which is usually a lively hub of hundreds of people. The wild boar usually breeds within the Collserola Hills, where they have no predators nor hunters to kill them for food. In the last couple of years, the city authorities have had to take measures to protect the species as their numbers continue to drop significantly. Now, as streets are quiet and the threat is significantly reduced, the boars can go about repopulating their numbers. The big problem they face is that they have become dependent on eating disregarded human food, which is harder to come by while everyone is in self-isolation. Mountain goats in Wales. Llandudno, a coastal town in North Wales, saw a herd of mountain goats pay a visit to its quiet streets. They appeared just days after British Prime Minister Boris Johnson placed the country on lockdown in an attempt to contain and prevent the virus from spreading further. The species of goat, known as Great Orme Kashmiri, actually originated from northern India, are rarely seen roaming the streets. Concerned residents called the North Wales Police Department, but they did not rush out to put the shaggy creatures under arrest. Instead, they reassured people that they would eventually find their own way back up to the mountains. Gangs of monkeys in Thailand. In a more unusual incident that has happened as a result of the COVID-19 outbreak, a large group of monkeys have appeared in Thailand's historic city of Lopburi. What makes it even more bizarre is that they have begun fighting each other in gangs. Usually, the 800-year-old city is teeming with tourists and city residents who feed the furry creatures. As lockdown has put a halt to the human traffic, the local monkeys have become starved and desperate. Every year, the city hosts an annual Monkey Buffet Festival where visitors build elaborate towers of fruits and vegetables for the monkeys that live at the nearby Phra Prang Samyat temple. The lack of food has forced the monkeys down into the city to brawl for any slithers they can find. Pod of killer whales. A pod of orca whales was spotted and filmed in Indian Arm, which is near Vancouver's northern shore. In fact, it has been the first sighting in almost 60 years. The witness reported that the family took 3 big breaths before submerging themselves, most likely feasting on the abundance of fish that has been left to grow without human intervention. This area of Indian Arm was once a favorite spot for killer whales over 100 years ago, before the sightings became less frequent. It is not only the animal kingdom that is healing while humans are in lockdown. NASA has released images showing the vastly reduced pollution levels since the lockdown began. In fact, the Himalayas can be seen for the first time in 30 years from India without pollution blocking it. The COVID-19 pandemic has given us a rare opportunity to see what damage the human race inflicts on the planet and its ecosystems. Now that there is proof, can the world simply go back to how it was before? We would love to hear your views in the comment section below. As the coronavirus forces us to keep ourselves and our pets indoors more than we usually would, we must make sure they are staying healthy too. In the description box below, we will leave links to our partner sites, who provide a whole array of products and guides to keep our companions well during these times. If you would like to see more interesting animal videos like this one, be sure to check out our other videos, and don't forget to hit the subscribe and notification buttons so you never miss a future upload.